The reason I think why some people struggle to improve their sight reading ability is because it doesn't get broken down fundamentally enough. The term sight reading is sight reading and not sight playing, so if you're trying to improve your reading ability, why are you at the same time trying to play an instrument? If you're referring to what most people mean when they use the term sight reading, meaning to be able to play something instantly, then what you're saying is that whichever piece of music it is that you're sight reading, it's easy enough for you to read to the point where you can read it and play the piano at the same time, and to where you can read it quickly enough to be able to play instantly there on the spot. So for a piece of music to become easy enough for you to do that with, you firstly need to improve your reading ability, not reading and playing at the same time. So to improve your reading ability, you need to practice reading just by itself. So what I do is I'll sit down at the piano and I'll read a piece of sight reading music, like the one in front of you now, and I'll read that, and I won't read one bar and then play it. I won't read half of the piece and then play it. I'll read the full piece from start to finish, and then I'll read it again and again and again until I feel like there's nothing more that can be gained from doing that. And then once I've gotten to that point where I feel like I've completed the process fully, that's when I'll play the piece maybe once, maybe twice at most. Just something I want to add is that when I sight read a piece of music, I count the tempo in my head and I bring it down to a pace that's comfortable for me, and that really helps to know where everything's gonna go. So to improve your sight reading ability, you need to read enough new music every single day at the right difficulty consistently, and over time your ability to read will improve. So of course, once your ability of reading goes up, what you'll be able to play instantly on the spot, that ability will go up also, because ultimately what the goal is here, if you were to take, the absolute ideal, what you would want is the ability to be able to sit down in front of any piece of music and be able to play instantly. So like I said, the way you get there is by, well, at least at the start, this is what I think, the way you get there is by practicing your reading just purely by itself first, and not reading and trying to play an instrument at the same time. Because if you were to think of it like, as a lot of people say, learning a foreign language, if you were learning a foreign language and trying to play a violin or something at the same time, it would be way too difficult. So that's my advice, my take on it, saying something that I feel like doesn't really I've not heard anyone else say it or explicitly state it, well enough and clearly enough. So the only other thing I'd like to add is that this is just the fundamental block. This is a fundamental video, so there's other things you'd want to add, like memorization and also spatial awareness, which are terms I learned from watching other people on YouTube talking about the subject. So I would definitely recommend listening to a lot of different people, because there's a lot of good information out there that you can learn. Anyway, I hope this helps.